Okay, the latest update in this David investigation is absolutely insane. If you guys don't know or haven't been keeping up, there's a singer from Texas, originally grew up in a Christian home. His name is David. He has been in some controversy lately because a underage girl who was living with him, allegedly, ended up chopped up in his Tesla Model X. And today, the leak is, according to TMZ, that investigators view him as suspect in Celeste Riva's apparent homicide. Now, the sad part about this is, one, this girl was underage. She was a runaway. She was living with him. There's a mountain of evidence to suggest that, at the very least, happened. So at the very least, you have a dude that's in his 20s with a 15-year-old living in his home in LA. The additional details that come out in this article are even more horrifying. And I have a scriptural tie-in because I really believe that this avatar, I've seen it before. I've seen the kid that grows up in a Christian home that has a foundation in God, and then they make some missteps that can potentially help them wind up. And I feel like this is just like a over-the-top hyperbolic version of that. Okay, so check out this article. So this is the young girl, Celeste. This is David. He's viewed as a suspect. So this is a leak to TMZ and a bunch of other news agencies all over the country reporting this. And the teenager was found decomposing in his Tesla. The Tesla was towed, and then after it was towed, it was, the odor discovered. Okay, but the additional details revealed here are absolutely horrifying. As far as we know, there's no paperwork classifying David as a suspect, but as one of our sources told us, investigators are looking at David as a suspect. So this is the girl. She was, I believe, around 13, allegedly, when they started to be together, and ultimately was 15 when she was found decomposed in this dude's Tesla. He was on tour at the time, so he has an alibi. Okay, so check out these other details. We're also told they're viewing Celeste's death as a homicide, even though the medical examiner has yet to determine cause or matter of death. Investigators are still waiting on toxicology results. One source claims the police investigation revealed that around the spring of 2025, David took a trip in the middle of the night to a remote area of Santa Barbara County and remained there for several hours. It's also unclear why a spring trip would be on LAPD's radar. Okay, so she was found in September. They're saying that he was on some weird trip in the spring. We have not been able to find a photo or video of Celeste since September of 2024. David has been living in the Hollywood Hills in a rental home. Cops searched the property for blood evidence, and his Tesla was abandoned on a nearby street and towed to an impound lot, where Celeste's body was later found in the front trunk. Okay, and so this is a video of them. Now, again, she's very underage in this.
Wait.
And so he's streaming.
Answer that one. That's so mean if you don't answer that.
Which one?
So this is her, and this is at his home. He's in his 20s. She's under 15 at this point, under 16 for sure.
I gotta stop with him if you even. We need to delete this.
Right, and so do we need to delete this? None of this stuff gets deleted, by the way. Your hidden, bizarre, weirdo behavior will be exposed. So at the very least, she's over there. She's with them. Tons of pictures. I'm not going to go over all of it today, but at the very least, there was some sort of relationship, and she was living with him according to all accounts. Okay, Celeste's body was decomposing when it was found in a plastic bag in early September. And our sources say it looks like the body was cut up and that the manner in which Celeste was dismembered strongly suggests whoever did it had help from other people.
Darkness.
What they're looking at, according to these leaks from the investigators, is that there were other people involved. Allegedly. Okay. Now, again, David is innocent until proven guilty, but there's so much here with regards to this girl being with him. Multiple people saying she ran away, she lived with him, to now she is, missing and found in the front of his Tesla Model X. It's unclear if cops have any suspects besides David. Now, it's possible maybe there was someone on David's team, maybe someone David knew, so on and so forth. I don't know. I don't know if this is a smoking gun. He for sure did it. I'm not saying that. What I do know is that I've seen this idea of Christian people who are aspiring to do something creative, move to major cities like LA, move to major cities like New York to pursue their careers. And then before you know it, their entire worldview is warped, and they're now dabbling in some really weird stuff. This reminds me of the passage in James chapter 1, verse 5. It says, if you need wisdom, ask our generous God, and he will give it to you. He will not rebuke you for asking. But when you ask him, be sure that your faith is in God alone. Do not waver, for a person with divided loyalty is as unsettled as a wave of the sea that is blown and tossed by the wind. Such people should not expect to receive anything from the Lord. Which, by the way, I think people often think that because someone's successful in music or in media or entertainment, that that's always the Lord's blessing. Sometimes that's not the Lord's blessing. Sometimes the Lord will take his hand off of people that perhaps grew up with a Christian foundation and hand them over, okay? According to Romans, that does happen as well. And so it's like, this is not, the person that is double-minded is not receiving anything from the Lord, right? Their loyalty is divided between God and the world, and they are unstable in everything they do. The NIV puts it this way. It says, that person should not expect to receive anything from the Lord. Let me go back to verse 6. But when you ask, you must believe and not doubt, because the one who doubts is like a wave of the sea blown and tossed by the wind. That person should not expect to receive anything from the Lord. Such a person is double-minded and unstable in all they do. So let's look up this word double-minded. By the way, this is our trusty Logos Bible software. And back in the day, this was really only used by like pastors and theologians and stuff because it costed hundreds of dollars, $1,000s. Now they're giving everybody a free 60-day trial, and then it's like a $10 or $12 subscription after that. The link is pinned up if you want to check it out. So let's check out this word double-minded.
Dipsychos.
Double-minded, doubting, okay? And it's only used one time, it looks like here. And so it's someone of two minds, right? Because you see the etymology here. This is one of the dopest parts about logos. You see which is two, and then psyche. Okay, someone that has two psyches, two mindsets, two ways of going about things. And it's only used here. And then in James, again, in verse 4:8, it says, come near to God, and he will come near to you. Wash your hands, you sinners, and purify your hearts, you double-minded. You two psyches, two ways of doing things. And so the sad part about this David situation is that this is a young man, and I feel for his parents, and I feel for his family. This is a young man by all measurable accounts. I've had people reach out to me that went to school with him, that I think even did homeschool with him, went to church with him, that had a lot of promise and a lot of potential, but because he pursued this weird non-Christian career with his art, he, in my opinion, seems to have been succumbed by the world in the way that we see the NLT version of this explained, right? Their loyalty is divided between God and the world, and they are unstable in everything they do. There's nothing wrong with desiring to make art, desiring to make music, desiring to honor God with your talents. That's what my entire book, Godly Ambition, is about, right? How to make the most of your time, talent, and treasure. But there's something wrong when you do it at the expense of your faith, at the expense of your family. And that's the sad part, is I've seen this avatar over and over. I've seen young men and women that love the Lord, and then they want to pursue art, media, music industry, and then they move to a city like New York or a city like LA, and they're completely corrupted by it, and then they become different people. And it seems like David became a different person, and now, allegedly he is being looked at as an investigator in this. And so anyway, if you want a biblical framework on how to pursue your ambition, check out Godly Ambition, my book. We have it available as a part of our Black Friday sale, signed copies over at blessgod.co, as well as our discipleship bundle with our leadership planner, 60-day devotional, prayer journal, and some other options for you. Black Friday early sale. You can go check that out at blessgod.co. Link will be pinned up, and check out that free 60-day Logos Bible software. Get your butt in the scriptures and get your butt in a local church. All right. Don't be like the world, and don't be confused, and don't have one foot in, one foot out. It is not without consequence. Granted, these are very drastic consequences, and what's happening here looks terrible, and it's all alleged, but that doesn't mean that you won't experience some degree of tension trying to live a double life. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Peace.